Let's see what he's got.
Of a new year, so as usual, here's my obligatory upcoming MMOs video where I talk.
He's like, oh fuck, okay, spread the cheeks. Here's my obligatory list.
About all the games that could release in 2024, but realistically will be perpetually pushed back until all the hype for the game has been bled dry. Whilst 2023 was a decent year for new MMORPG announcements.
You see that cynicism? That cynicism? Ah, this bitch is sleeping in again. Ah, fuck. Okay, I might as well go make some coffee. Maybe I can get out of the house before she fucking wakes up and asks for a donut again.
We didn't exactly have a whole lot of releases. Surely 2024 will be better, right? Keep in mind some of the games mentioned in this video will never actually come out, and the ones that do will likely disappoint you, so keep your expectations low and your hopes high as we go through the list. As per usual, the list is organised in order of the MMOs that I'm the most optimistic about to the ones I'm least optimistic about. Ashes of Creation. In 2023, Ashes has made amazing progress, and over the past few months of development update livestreams has shown multiple core systems working, from the caravan system to crafting, player housing, world boss fights.
That's actually one I need to consider, because they've now released the dwarves, and I've really been wanting to play a dwarf, right? So I need to consider Ashes of Creation. That's actually one that needs to be on my list. That's actually an important one.
Event system, and most recently a big improvement to the game's combat with the new Ranger class gameplay update. Ashes is a
Thank God the fucking Ranger is out. And I'll tell you why. I live in Africa, right? And I learned this lesson a long time ago. The best class for anyone on an ultra high ping is a ranged physical instant class. I can't play a mage correctly because of all the charge times on the spells. Because if I'm lagging and someone else isn't, guess what? My fucking cast bar is twice the length of everyone else's, and that's not a good thing. It's the one time where you don't want it to be longer. And if I'm playing a melee class, by the time my character fucking runs up to the guy to hit him, he's crossed the fucking map, and he's busy beating my ass up back there because I'm lagging. The only class I actually stand a chance with, based on my ping, based on the fact that I have to bounce to a server in Europe or the US, the only class I stand a chance with is a hunter, or a ranger, or something that does ranged physical damage. Instantaneous ranged physical damage. So, in WoW terms, the best thing to play on high ping is probably a hunter. The second best thing is a dot warlock.
MMO catering to both PvP and PvE players, and has a lot of people hyped for it, including myself, due to its fair business model, going with the good old sub-fee, no box cost and cosmetic only cash shop approach with zero pay to win. Overall, Ashes stands out as one of the most ambitious MMORPGs on the horizon.
There's one big problem with Ashes that I think people are not considering. If you are a solo player and you don't whore yourself out to some larger guild group, you're fucked.
Alpha 2 confirmed for Q3 2024. As for a full release date, I'd have to speculate late 2025 or even 2026, but it's really hard to tell. For those of you keen on keeping up with Ashes of Creation's progress, then check out my Ashes of Creation coverage playlist, in which I recap all of the game's development update live streams in a concise format.
Ring ring, yes hello, I can phone that in.
PAX Day is an upcoming social sandbox MMORPG set in a vast fantasy world inspired by medieval legends.
Okay, so I watched Soulman play PAX Day. I watched like hours of his stream watching him play this game, and it made me less interested in this game than I ever thought I would be.
Embracing a cloud-native MMO concept, the game allows players to seamlessly play on any screen or device.
This game is like, the only way I can think to describe it is it's Rust. And why the fuck would you redevelop Rust? Why would you redevelop a worse version of Rust? That's with better graphics. That's the only thing I see. If you wanted better graphics, take Rust, mod the game for better graphics, and play Rust. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see the reason why people would play this game beyond an initial release for like maybe a month, get tired and bored, and then fuck off.
In terms of gameplay, the thing that sticks out for me the most with PAX Day is its player-created settlements. The building in this game looks
Oh, guess what Valheim does better? There's this little game, I don't know if you know it, it's called Valheim. It seems to do that better than PAX Day as well.
Absolutely insane and is likely to be best in genre in this aspect. PAX Day basically seems like it'll be a medieval EVE Online, with a big focus on resource gathering, crafting, exploration, and a mix of both PvP and PvE. The recent alpha demonstrated promising progress. Unfortunately, I didn't get invited to the playtest, hence why I didn't cover it on my channel when every other content creator did. Early access for PAX
I don't know if that's salt or whether he just doesn't care at all. I can't tell whether him saying I didn't get invited is like some degree of salt, or whether he's like actually like I'm just telling you because I couldn't give a fuck. Unfortunately, they didn't suck my dick. I heard Soulman moved recently to Thailand with some MMO YouTuber. I heard the same, but that might actually explain why I keep on hearing sounds of like squelching sounds in the background of his videos recently, if you go back and you play it. And every now and then I do hear another British man going, this MMORPG. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Lazy Peon wouldn't fuck a dog. He's not a Californian white woman. He's not going to do that.
PAX Day is confirmed for spring 2024, with no date for the full release yet.
The Riot MMO.
Here we
Contrary
go.
to what the click.
Okay, so Riot MMO. What do we know about this MMO, right? Okay, the best way to describe the Riot MMO currently is if we look at like a timeline, right? Currently, we live in the end of 2024, right? This is where we live, right? The Riot MMO was announced somewhere back here, like 2022 or something. If we look and we project the release date of the Riot MMO, here is the eventual heat death of the universe, and here's the release date of the Riot MMO currently. Right, you probably can't see that. There you go. So, universe dies, collapses back into nothing, and becomes a radiation wave like it was before the Big Bang occurred. And about 25 million years later, that's when the Riot MMO releases. So, I could theoretically cover the MMO, but it doesn't exist. That's the problem with this one. I forgot about this. Hold on. The Riot games exist. Would surprise me to see Riot canceling that MMO. I thought it was announced much longer ago. It probably was. I'm going off of like what I remember, and my memory is dog shit. So understand that when I speak, about 99% of all the things I say are complete bullshit, and I'm just making it up as I go. Think of me as an AI. Right? Think of me as an AI generative model. If you ask me how many rocks to eat in a day, my answer won't be 2 to 3 rocks. My answer will be, what you want to do is you want to get the specialized lead ones, place them inside of a Glock 19, and aim it at your mouth. That way you can make sure that when you pull the trigger, it mineralizes your face, and you get all of the nutrients instead of only getting half of them by swallowing them, right? Think of me as that. I'm bullshit personified because I have a dog shit memory. I get things wrong all the time. Fuck, I called a disabled the world's biggest disabled VTuber. I was like, this bitch is at the gym. That's my level of information.
Thanks
Thanks for the follow, Ronnie Remake.
flooding YouTube would have you believe, we still have almost no information available about the upcoming Riot MMO. The main reason there's so much hype behind this game is due to Riot Games' amazing track record of having every game they've released turn out to be very successful, as well as appeal to a broad audience. With their resources and knack for making high quality polished games, I think it's fair to say that the Riot MMO has the potential to be one of the biggest MMORPGs since World of Warcraft, possibly setting new standards for what it means to be an MMORPG in this day and age.
It does, but let's think about the way that Riot is currently treating League of Legends, right? They removed free hex crates. You play League of Legends, you can no longer get the legendary skins, you have to buy them. They're adding in $250 skins that you have to buy. There was that one $500 skin for Ahri, right? Here's the thing, is Riot might make an absolute fucking banger of an MMO and then ruin it with microtransactions and pay to win. So here's the problem, right? If I go now to a professional patisserie, top tier 5-star chef, and I ask for a cake, and he bakes me the world's best cake, I'm gonna think that's amazing. But if he drops his pants and takes a shit on top of the cake, it doesn't matter how good the cake is, I don't want to eat it anymore. That's the problem.
Where the genre is mostly filled by nostalgic and franchised players. The only news we had this year was that Ghostcrawler, the executive producer of the game, left the company earlier in the year because of personal matters and started a new MMORPG.
So I have a conspiracy about Ghostcrawler there, right? And Ghostcrawler said he was done with MMOs, that he's leaving the Riot team, that he's not doing anything, and then he immediately turns around and starts making a different MMORPG. I think they started doing something that Ghostcrawler didn't like or didn't agree with, and then Riot was like, you can fuck off, old man. We know how to make MMOs. And then they're like, all the zoomies in the office flossed in front of him before they sexually harassed each other and chased him out of there. That's my conspiracy. And he was like, fine, I'll go make my own MMO with blackjack and hookers.
Studio, which brings us on to the next game. After leaving Riot Games, Ghostcrawler created Fantastic Pixel Castle Studio and started the development of a game with the codename Ghost, after receiving a sizable investment from NetEase. The game is still in the very early stages of development.
NetEase. You ever hear a name and it like sets off instinctual fear? Like you're a Hollywood actress and it's 2010 and you hear the words Harvey Weinstein's coming to visit. That's how I feel when I hear NetEase.
But according to Ghostcrawler, they want to bring back central pillars of the MMO experience, such as playing with friends and building a community, as MMOs have moved too far towards
hold on, they released a video about his new game with gameplay. Yeah, there's a lot of really rapey publishers out there. NCSoft is one of them. Wait, there's actual gameplay with this MMO that's called Ghost. I gotta see that.
Adventuring. One of the peculiarities of Ghost will be its shards system, where the player will alternate between private
I'm gonna have
realms
to see that. If you got a link, send it to me.
Which will have a similar experience to games such as V Rising, and public red shards, which will have a more traditional MMORPG experience. Work on Ghost has just started, but Ghostcrawler mentioned in an interview with Canon that the development of the game is moving really.
Damn, this guy's getting around. I don't know who this guy's bribing or sucking the dick off, but Canon is just like popping up everywhere. Thank you, New Gash. I don't know what it is. Canon is popping the fuck off. This guy knows what he's doing. He's like interviewing all these super important people, and they all just talk to him. It's amazing. Let's see what they've got.
Hello. I'm Greg Street. I'm the studio head for Fantastic Pixel Castle.
Okay.
We are making a fantasy MMORPG codenamed Ghost.
Okay, I don't want to look at this guy because he's got more hair than me. I want to see the gameplay.
You're going to see some rough edges. But if we don't show the game early, we won't have sufficient time to react to your feedback, so we're pulling off the Band-Aid today. Here at FPC...
They've already lost my interest. That was bad. That was bad. Can you spot it? Actually, these buttons fucking takes me back. Can you spot the problem?
Sufficient time to react to your feedback, so we're...
What's the problem here? Do you see the problem with this game? Yeah, I'll make it simple. Let me fix Greg Street's game for him. Because obviously these guys don't know how to design a fucking MMORPG that lasts more than 10 seconds, right? Obviously. Some of you have already got it. Some of you have figured out the problems here. God, where do screenshots save on this PC? So, let's quickly fix Greg Street's MMORPG. It's real simple. This currently is a 4 out of 10 MMO. We use a different color. No, that's not. No, hold on. This is now a 10 out of 10 MMO. Get your shit together, Greg. Fix your game.
Pulling off the Band-Aid today. Here at FPC...
Did you learn nothing? Did you learn nothing from the anime titty games that have people playing it and jerking off to them all the time? What's that one with the fantastic tits that I played for a little bit? I can't remember its name. It's somewhere here in this list. First Descendant. Here we go. What a game. What a fucking game. I know nothing about the gameplay, but goddamn, the jiggle physics are fucking top tier. That game will always have a player base, by the way.
We love it.
Same with Warframe. But this shit, they need to fix it yesterday.
We're not intending to fix what isn't broken. You'll find a lot of what you love about this.
Yeah, fix the asses then.
But you won't see a lot of that in the game yet, because we're focusing on the areas where we do want to innovate. In particular, we think we could do better.
Now, I'm just looking at the gameplay quick of their prototype gameplay. That's all I want to see. I don't want to see Greg Street's face. I'm mad that he has more hair.
Happen in the recent past. Need to help rebuild the
is
remains
there
of the
any
world.
gameplay, or is it just pictures?
You will need to help rebuild after some really bad.
There we go.
Is the social hub, but currently it's just a place where you group up before heading out into the shards. You'll see playtesters choose some pretty generic classes in game. For our prototype, we built placeholder versions of a tank, melee, ranged, and a healer. Eventually, you plan to have many classes, including some that are pretty out there. After players have grouped up, they'll head off to different blue zones. Blue zones are designed for small groups, ideally you and your friends. They're different every time, meaning you won't...
This is real early shit. Seeing this as like their base foundation is not good, and I'll show you why. I'll show you why. What the fuck, dude? Don't play that fucking music. Okay, fine. I want you to look at this. This looks exactly like Greg Street's MMORPG, which means someone's already made the thing he's trying to make. And do you know what he's trying to make? He's trying to make a blockchain game. This is a blockchain MMORPG. One I made a decent amount of money off of because I sold the NFTs that were attached to the game before it released, because these people are fucking retarded and they don't understand how markets work. But this looks very, very fucking similar to this.
Know what combination of enemies, allies, and objectives you'll get, or even what the map will look like. They emphasize exploration. In Blue Zones, the focus is on you. If you kill a boss, it stays dead.
It's the same thing.
If you find a treasure chest, it's yours to take. There aren't other players around, except for those you've invited.
They oh. Ooh. Ooh, you're a fuck. I want you to hear that again. I want you to hear that line again.
Hey, there aren't other players around, except for those you've invited.
One more time.
Chest, it's yours to take. There aren't other players around, except for those you've invited.
So he's not creating an MMORPG. That's what he's saying. He's not actually creating an MMORPG. Does this sound like an MMORPG to you?
Chest, it's yours to take. There aren't other players around, except for those you've invited.
That's not an MMORPG, buddy. You're not creating an MMORPG. You're using the word MMORPG to market your piece of shit. That's not an MMORPG. Well played. Well fucking played, Greg. Once upon a time, I see the dementia's kicking in, buddy. I see we're fucking lying to people now. Yeah, a co-op RPG. You know what it's gonna be? It's gonna be Space Marine, except not fun. That's what it's gonna be. Procedurally generated mission areas with centralized hub to form groups. That's not new. That's basically how Warframe did. Exactly, NVIDIA. Now tell me something, NVIDIA. Why would someone go and play the exact same game when a better version of that exact same game already exists? Why would you play a new game except so that you can go back to your original game and jerk off over how good it is by comparison? That's what's going to happen if they carry on down this path.
Fast, and that he doesn't want to be working on the game 10 years from now. I'll be real with you, I don't think we'll see this game before 2028, but at
Probably
least
not.
we know where to put all of our cope.
And we also know now that it's a fucking lie. We also know now it's not an MMORPG. Maybe they wanted to add this shit to the Riot MMO and he got cock-blocked. You know what? You know what, Ilgi? I'm on the Riot team side. I think they should have chopped off a few fingers on the way out the fucking door. If he wanted this shit where he was like, no, what we should do with our massively multiplayer online game is fucking lock it so you only see 4 people, including yourself, in the game. Damn, that's such a good idea. Fuck, I'm a genius. And you know what? Probably the Riot MMO team looked at him like, this old man has dementia. This old man needs to be in a fucking white room with no windows and a padded fucking door. Somebody get Greg Street the long sleeve white jacket that wraps behind his back. He's doing crazy shit right now. I've lost all faith in that. Fuck that game.
If
Fuck
Ashes
that.
of Creation
Zero
and
interest.
the Riot's MMO crash and burn. Chrono Odyssey is a
Oh my
Korean
God.
open-world MMORPG made in Unreal Engine 5 that will be available on both PC and console. This game looks absolutely stunning, and
This one I have some interest in. It's probably going to be a mess, but I do have some interest in Chrono Odyssey.
the recent gameplay trailer is quite promising. It includes classic fantasy RPG classes such as Archer, Warrior, Berserker, and Mage, but it also introduces guns, hammers, and, as the game's name implies,
Make her
various
back. What was her name?
time-bending abilities. Chrono Odyssey kind of gives me BDO vibes with its graphics, epic-looking combat, and giant monsters.
That looks decent.
But beyond that, the details are scarce. The most optimistic expectation would be a release in late 2024, but realistically, probably 2025 and beyond. Throne and Liberty recently...
Wait, is Crimson Desert an MMO, or is it just an RPG? It was first marketed as an MMO, but then the Elden Ring game released, took over the gaming space for a while. It was so good that Crimson Desert, immediately after the release and success reveal of Elden Ring, immediately said, hey guys, we need to change direction. This will no longer be an MMORPG, it'll just be an RPG. I shit you not. It was like a week after Elden Ring showed its revenue share, and then all of a sudden, it was no longer an MMO.
Released in Korea in December 2023, and is scheduled for a 2024 release in the West, published by Amazon Game Studios. Before the official release...
So, okay. Chrono Odyssey's biggest downside is that it looks like Throne and Liberty, and it's probably going to fall into the same bucket. Now, granted, I haven't tried Throne and Liberty firsthand, but I know for a fact, I know how NCSoft publishes and builds games in 2024. What that means is you have a game that'll be decent, and you lock all the really decent and fun parts away behind paywalls. And so you make players do all the shitty slavery stuff that no one thinks is fun, and you make them grind so that they can have 5 minutes of fun before you throw them back into the fucking coal mines. Or they can open their wallet and their asshole and pay you a bunch of money so they can just experience the fun. So I would expect that Chrono Odyssey is probably going to fall into the same kind of hole as Throne and Liberty.
The game underwent a significant combat revamp in response to negative feedback from the closed beta tests. The updated version of the game no longer includes autoplay, features a more dynamic combat system.
Yeah, I don't care about this one.
Takes a more traditional approach to...
Like, I have very little interest in Throne and Liberty after the gameplay I've seen. Path of Exile is not an MMORPG. He just threw it in the list so that he can get more viewership because he knows how popular it is. So we're going to skip that one.
Archeage 2 is not the name for the next fresh start server of Archeage, but the sequel itself to the acclaimed yet controversial MMORPG. Archeage 2 takes a bold new direction from its predecessor by moving away from large-scale faction-based PvP. This shift apparently reflects the Western market's preference for
so they made the game worse.
Action-packed single-player console games. The primary focus for progression in Archeage 2 will now be on single-player content, while still trying to maintain the core elements.
So, not an MMORPG. You know when I said that Lazy Peon phones his content in from the fucking moon? This is what I'm talking about. What's up, Soundless? Thanks for the follow, Vawraek. This is what I mean. Let's see. Ashes of Creation, MMORPG. PAX Day, MMORPG. Riot MMO. Gonna release after the heat death of the universe, so I'm not counting it. Ghost, not an MMORPG. Chrono Odyssey, MMORPG. Throne and Liberty, MMORPG. Path of Exile, not an MMORPG. Archeage 2, not an MMORPG. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3. So almost half of what he's spoken about currently is not a fucking MMORPG. Zerul, I said this at the very beginning. I don't respect this phone-in content, but it's good for making lists of things that I can make videos on next year. His opinion means nothing to me. But the list allows me to build something that I can work off of to make my own videos. That's why we're going through this.
elements that Archeage was known for, such as trading and sea combat. Cacao Games is apparently looking at Gamescom 2024 for a gameplay reveal of Archeage 2, so I think we can assume a 2020...
Hold on, because the MMORPG genre is dead. Mr. Mirror, do you know how it's not dead? I'll tell you, this is a thing people keep saying, and you're wrong, right? But you will be right in the future unless something happens, right? The MMORPG genre is not dead currently. The MMORPG genre is dormant. And do you know how you know this? Out of nowhere, in a supposedly dead genre, almost 1 million players stepped into an Amazon MMORPG. Out of nowhere. Now, they fucked off pretty quickly because they realized they didn't like the fucking game and it was a mess. But that's 1 million players desperate for an MMORPG. Desperate for something good. Now, give it 4 or 5 years of these piles of dog shit in the MMORPG genre coming out, and you will be 100% right, Mr. Mirror. You will be 100% right with your statement. But currently, everyone's asleep. So you will be right in the future. But for now, you're not. For now, it's dormant.
5 release for this one. Regardless, this is another Unreal Engine 5 MMO that I'll personally be very excited in trying out. Perfect New World is a game made in Unity that was announced out of the blue 9 months ago.
We have New World and we have Perfect New World. Well, it can't be worse than New World.
And seems to be pretty far ahead in its development cycle. Judging from the trailers and various beta footage, Perfect New World has a hybrid combat system with animation lock, features 4 different gender-locked classes, and has a mix of PvP and PvE content. The general...
This just looks like some shitty version of Devil May Cry 3. If I'm being honest, I don't respect
feedback I saw from this game's playable tests were somewhat mixed.
Oh wait, hello, never mind.
The game does look really nice visually,
give me a
and
zoom
it's
in.
still in development, so there's time to improve.
Come on, zoom in.
I'd
Do we
expect
have...
the full release for this...
Okay, never mind. I retract my previous statement. Maybe this game has potential. Maybe. I retract what I said previously.
One sometime in 2024. Corepunk is quite a unique MMORPG as it tries to bridge the gap between MOBA and MMO, with top-down gameplay and fog of war, which serves as a way to incentivize exploration in the open world. Besides
now, I've played Corepunk, so I can actually have a functional opinion on this. I think Corepunk is not getting the attention it deserves. I think it's pretty rough. It's pretty like, how do I say this? It doesn't have everything in it that it needs currently, but the foundation that this game has is pretty decent. It can build. The concern is, can they build fast enough to maintain a player base? Corepunk is enjoyable enough that you could play this game and have a good time. But here's the problem. There are no streamers, there are no big fucking streamers, or people who are going to seriously play this game for years, because the actual gameplay is so slow and molasses-like to watch that no one is going to give a fuck about it. So it's not going to get the attention it deserves. And the really weird part, this is like super strange, is that Corepunk feels better to play than it does to watch. Watching Corepunk is like watching old people try and fuck. Playing Corepunk is like being the person fucking old people. Their hip replacement means that they don't have the speed to get away from you.
The MOBA-like combat system, you still have your classic MMORPG systems like gathering, crafting quests, randomly generated dungeons, and raids. The game had a beta test fairly recently. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to play it, but next beta test I'll jump in and make a first impressions video. So far, Corepunk is looking highly likely to release sometime in 2024. Do you like Warframe but wish it had slower, more deliberate gameplay and was set in a more grounded fantasy world?
Do you like Warframe but wish it was worse? That's what this man just said to me. Okay, I will consider Soulframe though. I will consider Soulframe out of pure curiosity.
World? Well, good news. Soulframe is being developed by Digital Extremes and will be a parallel game to Warframe.
And it gets done on the cheap.
Similar gameplay features but with a different aesthetic and theme. There's no date for this one, but the devs are releasing development updates, and it seems like a release date is slated for late 2024. With its crowdfunding of over...
And you know what the worst part is? You know what the worst part about this is? This is 100% sour grapes on my part. Because do you want to know the difference between him and me? This is me being completely fucking salty. Right? I won't even deny it. This is me being pure salt. Right? Do you see this video? Right, that I made? What's the view count? 9K views. What's his view count? Nearly 500,000 views. I am wasting my time. I am actively wasting my time by putting in that much effort. This man phones it in and makes fucking thousands of dollars a month.
$1 billion. Star Citizen is the most ambitious game ever, and whilst after a decade in development we still have no full release date, we did finally get an incredible game.
When I say, I'm just saying this, so when I tell you that I am a mentally ill human being, I'm not lying to you. I am a mentally ill human being for behaving like this.
Gameplay trailer for Squadron 42, the single-player campaign version of Star Citizen earlier in 2023.
It's already on the list.
Star Citizen has been playable in a testing state for a few years, and does have a dedicated community, some of which make epic videos about all of the latest updates.
Star Citizen team has, they have made or they have collected funds in the range of $700 million, and they are still in an alpha state. These guys have they've almost made $1 billion off of this shit. It actually might be more than 700 million. I'm trying to remember what the actual number is. They released a new trailer, got this with zero gameplay, and it's delayed again. I don't think Star Citizen will ever release. Ever. It's too profitable. It's too profitable to not just leave in an alpha state, do a shitty update every now and then, get people to buy the new spaceship and make a ton of money. Now give me a second, I need a lozenge. My legitimate tinfoil hat conspiracy theory is that Star Citizen will never leave an alpha because it's just too profitable to ever not be an alpha. When the game is finally released, that's when it will die. But the fact that they can keep it in alpha and keep it in this, no guys, we're still developing it state, means people will still be delusional enough to give them money.
For many though, the game has been in development for so long that they've just tuned out. One thing's for certain though, if Star Citizen ever does release, it will probably be the best sci-fi MMO ever created. As for an estimated release date, I have
It won't, because it'll never release.
No idea. Tarisland is a cross-platform PC mobile MMORPG made by Tencent.
Oh man, I played this, and let me tell you, if World of Warcraft was made in 2024, it would be Tarisland.
Nope.
And that's usually where I would lose interest immediately.
But after looking into this game, I think it could actually be a very interesting project, although towards the end of 2023 it did have a bit of controversy.
It's
from
not.
the get-go.
And the English translation's dog shit. It barely makes any sense whatsoever. And it's a mobile game that's ported to PC. And it makes no sense. And it doesn't have enough content to maintain its player base for very long. It's literally a shitty WoW clone. It's Wish.com World of Warcraft. It's Temu World of Warcraft.
The game assured players that it would be a zero pay-to-win MMO, but during the CBT it had a number of systems where players could
The CBT, the cock and ball torture.
basically buy power in a similar way to games like Lost Ark and World of Warcraft. Weirdly, the devs also removed mentions of non-pay-to-win from their marketing and description of the game during this time. However, since then, following backlash from the player base, they've now seemingly gone back to their non-pay.
They just put it on screen like that. The Cock and Ball Torture benefits card was launched in the Cock and Ball Torture on the international server. You know, devs really need to stop using the term CBT because it doesn't mean what they think it means. It doesn't mean current beta test. I'm sorry.
To-win vision, stating in a recent dev update that the pay-to-win stuff wouldn't be a thing for the full release, it was just for the CBT. Make of that what you will.
Aside from that, the game will have a seamless open world and a traditional tab target combat system, as well as being accessible on a global server for both PC and mobile platforms. On top of that, the devs recently removed the game's gender lock after receiving feedback from a closed beta, which I think is very unusual for Eastern devs, but will likely be appreciated by most players. As for features, it looks like they're going for a...
Will be a current though. You know what, you're right, Vawraek. It is closed beta. You're right. I'm being too how do I say it? I'm being too delusional in thinking that it's still in a current beta state. I'm just this is what Lazy Peon's video has done to me. It's draining my soul slowly. But to what he's saying about the player base, there's only really one thing I have to say to that, and it's what player base?
A classic themed WoW inspired MMO with raids, multiple classes and builds, and a vast open world.
As for the release date, Tarisland will launch in Q1 2024.
The Quinfall is an upcoming MMORPG that makes the ambitious claim to bring us the largest open world we have ever seen.
Ooh, this one I completely forgot about. This one's actually worth... Hold on. Let me reopen this. I completely forgot about this one's existence. Isn't this another scam MMO? It's not a scam so much as it's just a pile of burning shit.
In Quinfall, your class will be decided by the combination of weapons you equip. You'll be able to have your own shop in the world, play mini-games and board games in taverns with other players, explore secret dungeons filled with puzzles, gather, craft, fish, and pretty much do everything your heart desires. This is a big promise, and it's possible
hey look, it's New World.
that Quinfall is attempting too much, which doesn't always turn out too well.
The game's release was set to be on January 20th, 2024 according to their Steam page, but the sneaky devs changed it very recently to coming soon, instead launching a closed...
Hold on, we're checking that right now. Oh my. Oh my. Is this gonna be like that other Fallout, that one like apocalypse game, that FPS MMO that was actually just a straight out scam?
Is calling you. Prepare yourself for thrilling, breathtaking sandbox MMORPG adventure in a vast, living world spanning 2016.
Is that an AI voice, or is that just like, you know, someone not in America doing a voiceover?
Kilometers square, you'll witness the changing season and navigate through storm with courage. Here, everyone's story is unique, yet each has the potential to become a legend. Choose from dozens of unique professions, master your craft, and claim your place in this world.
They paid a homeless man with booze. That's not a nice way to talk about their CEO, even if it is true, Devilus. Just because the CEO is homeless and he's ballooning nitrous behind his local IKEA doesn't mean you need to inform people of that.
Beta test on January 30th instead. I've not had the chance to play the beta personally, and I'm extremely skeptical that this dev team has managed to pull off such an ambitious project in such a short space.
I can tell already, just observing this, I can tell this is gonna be dog shit. And I'm here for it. This is gonna be the funniest, nastiest shit you've ever seen.
Of time, but based on some of the footage I've seen of the game on YouTube, the quinfall does seem to be somewhat playable, so it's already surpassed my expectations because I genuinely thought it was a scam. Whether it's a good game or not, I'll let you know in a first impressions video soon when I get to play it. Blue Protocol is an upcoming free-to-play anime.
Oh, Blue Protocol! Oh, I love this game so much. I'm so excited about Blue Protocol because I made a whole video about Blue Protocol, about how it's just a gambling sandbox that's complete dog shit, and it's more of an ARPG than an actual MMORPG, and a bunch of people who suck the cock off of every single Asian game got so mad at me, reacted to my video, and they're like, fuck this guy, he's a piece of shit, what a loser. And guess what? The game was so bad. The game was so bad that they cancelled the launch. They cancelled the launch of this fucking game. Man, Blue Protocol's so good. I'm glad I sucked the fucking meat off of the director, because this game's gonna release any day now, guys. Fucking hell. This fucking game.
MMORPG that was released this year in Japan and is set to release in the West in 2024.
Didn't it launch in Japan? It did launch in Japan, but they cancelled the European launch. They fucked it up, and guess what? There is no reason to play Blue Protocol if you want a good game. Go play Genshin Impact. Go put yourself on an FBI watch list. Go put yourself on the sex offenders registry, collect your free copy of Genshin Impact, and have a better time than you would in Blue Protocol. Blue Protocol is not a game that is enjoyable. It's not enjoyable enough to be something that can stand up to the things that, like, I don't know, Honkai Star Rail or whatever the fuck else can do. Weebs don't deserve this kind of punishment. They've got a bunch of good anime games that they can jerk off to. This is not one of them.
GS. The game had a bit of a bumpy release in Japan, but I can see that the game could be fairly successful in the West, as the game will be somewhat similar to Genshin, but with more MMO.
Oh, and the best part about this is, Zerul, yes, it was supposed to be published by Amazon Games, but do you know what Amazon Games said before they fucking released the game? They said, change it. Remove the jiggle physics. Reduce the tit size in the character creator. No mini skirts. No dresses of any kind. You must cover up your characters because Allah wills it. Women are not allowed to expose themselves in our video game. And they did it. The devs did it.
Elements. As for an actual Western release date, I think we could expect Q3 2024.
Oh, by the way, just so you know,
Western release date, I think we could expect Q3.
This little fucking girl, you know that meme about how it's like pedophiles and shit will be like, no bro, it's okay that she's a toddler because she's actually 100,000-year-old vampire. She just looks like a 5-year-old. That's literally this character. She's like a 1,000-year-old demon who looks like a 4-year-old girl. Yeah, actually, no, you're right. It's a dragon lady. And you know what the funniest part about it is? I actually thought she was incredibly entertaining because when you summon her in the game, the attack she has is to throw a bottle of fucking alcohol at whatever you're attacking. Whatever target you summon her against, she literally takes a bottle of alcohol, throws it at the enemy, and stuns them. That was the best part about the game.
2024, perhaps with some beta tests before that. Dune Awakening is an open-world survival MMO set in the Dune universe and developed by Funcom, the creators of Conan Exiles. Like many survival games, Dune Awakening will include...
Oh, I know it's gonna be bad, but I'm a Dune simp. Father, forgive me for I have sinned. I'm a Dune simp. I know it's gonna be bad. I know it's a survival game. I need to still check it out. I know that it's not going to be a real, actual MMORPG, that they're going to dial it back, and they're going to fuck up the Dune lore. But I'm still a Dune simp. I am still a Dune simp. It's Funcom. Of course it's going to be bad. That's exactly what informs me that this is going to be terrible. But yes, I'm 100% aware that this is not actually going to be an MMO. What this is a marketing ploy, right? What video games have realized is that people are desperate for a good MMORPG to the point that they will market their piece of shit as an MMORPG and at the last minute say, guys, it's actually not an MMORPG. I don't know where you guys got that idea from. And then they just like scrub the word MMORPG from their website or wherever they were advertising it, and they gaslight people into believing, no, you guys said MMORPG, not us, right? And that's their marketing tactic, because they know how desperate the people who love the genre are for something good.
Elements such as gathering, exploring, and hunting. However, it places extra emphasis on the social interaction among players in a persistent world. The game recently announced...
We haven't seen, Tabe, we haven't seen Guild Wars 2 in this video because this is Lazy Peon. And it might be titled every upcoming MMORPG, but none of these games are actually MMORPGs. You gotta remember, it's Lazy Peon, dude.
Announced the first beta test, and you can sign up for it on the official website. The devs mentioned that the game is at a stage where player feedback would be valuable. I anticipate a release in 2024 for this one.
If I sign up for this, do you think they're going to take my feedback or just ban me when I say, hey, can you make this an actual MMORPG?
Potentially around Q4. Project LLL represents NCSoft's venture into third-person MMO shooters, unfolding in an alternate reality Soul intricately recreated as a 3D map, drawing inspiration from Philip K. Dick's novels. The game offers a fully explorable open world, dynamic events, and the inclusion of mechs. Development appears to be well underway with a...
So, once human crossed with Titanfall, this might actually be okay. But I don't expect this to release next year. I'm not going to put this on the list because this will probably release in like 2029 or like 2078 when I'm fucking dead and in the ground from a heart attack. I don't expect this to release.
Probable release in 2024 on both PC and console. Profane presents itself as an authentic player-driven sandbox MMO set in a traditional...
I've never heard of this game, but this immediately looks like something I've already played. I don't know what, but, like, I recognize this graphical style.
Fantasy environment. You can explore...
Oh, okay, it's Shitty Pal World. That's all I needed to know, is Shitty Pal World.
Dynamic world that responds to your actions, engage in open world PvP, construct houses, and experience skill-based action combat. Profane had multiple tests in 2023 and presented a playable version of...
Another asset flip or voxel Minecraft graphics. Yeah, this looks like an asset flip to me. This doesn't look like anything unique. I've played around a little bit in Unity, and this looks like a Unity UI to me. This looks like a blockchain game.
The game at this year's Brazil Game Show.
No,
based on the progress shown so far, I think the game will be released in either late 2024 or 2025.
Yeah, no.
Past Fate is a Viking-themed open-world indie MMORPG where players can choose from 5 distinct classes: warrior, necromancer, mage, pirate, and priest. The game has fairly nice graphics.
Okay, that's not bad. Maybe that's one to look into. maybe that's worthwhile. Maybe. Maybe.
And adopts a Souls-style action combat system. It features a crafting and gathering system, quests, and various monsters such as zombies, demons, and giants, and has been receiving small but steady improvements, with it likely to enter early access on Steam.
I like the sword swings and stuff. I will take lower graphics over better gameplay over better graphics and shitty gameplay any day of my life. Like any day of the week. If you give me shit graphics, but the gameplay is really good, I won't care about the graphics anymore. I think the AAA industry's obsession with graphics has proven that if you're going to have high graphical fidelity, don't make ugly as fuck characters, which they do all the time, which has also convinced me that there's no future for AAA games because they keep making piles of dog shit. And so if this stays in this graphical state, this like PlayStation 3 graphical state, but the gameplay is good, I'll be really happy about it.
Steam in 2024. Dokev is a creature-collecting open-world MMO developed and published by Pearl Abyss. This game was initially revealed in 2019, and the development has been somewhat quiet since 2021, where we got a pretty exciting gameplay trailer. This game is...
Yeah, that's just reskinned Splatoon. I thought so.
Supposed to bridge the gap between young and old MMO players, and has a much more casual tone when compared to other games from Pearl Abyss. The release date for Dokev...
Hold on, Dokev, kind of Pokemon with guns more than that. I don't know, because I don't know anything about this, but the graphical style, the behavior reminds me of Splatoon. It just looks like Splatoon to me.
Hasn't been announced yet, but seeing how Crimson Desert was pushed to 2025, I wouldn't hold my breath for this one. Maybe late.
Ooh, okay, that gives... Okay, I saw the faces on the characters, and that just gave me, that just, like... Now, the problem with this is the faces on these. They set off my fight or flight response, so I don't want to touch this game because I don't want to be on the sex offenders registry, so I'm going to give this one a skip.
It's 2024 if we're lucky, otherwise...
Is that the beeps I hear? Yes, Super God, that's the beeping you're hearing.
This is a 2025 or beyond release. Plan 8. Similar to Project LLL, Plan 8 is an MMO shooter made by Pearl Abyss. This game was announced in 2019 and PA has been radio silent ever since. Considering Crimson Desert was delayed for 5 years...
I think this one's not going to release. You don't have to be a female streamer to go for that. Go for it. No, I don't. I need to be a female streamer to maintain any degree of viewership. That's for fucking sure.
And tuned down from an MMORPG to a single player
like big juicy titties on a woman are desirable. Big juicy titties on a man. that's not getting you anywhere.
I can't promise you that this game will ever come out, and if it does, it might be a rhythm game for all we know, so don't expect this before 2026.
So essentially not an MMORPG, again.
Eternal Tombs, formerly called War of Dragnaroks. Eternal Tombs is an indie MMORPG that recently went through some major changes.
Oh fuck yeah, I haven't played Neverwinter in a while.
After transitioning to Unreal Engine 5, the game will now be run by live staff, called Tomb Masters.
You wanna know the biggest scam that I've seen in the MMORPG space? Is when companies build an MMO and they never talk about their gameplay design, the systems in their game, but the words they are so fucking desperate to say to you are Unreal Engine 5. Like, somehow that makes it better. It's like... it's like, okay, let's say... let's say your wife makes you a sandwich and you're allergic to peanuts, and so she makes a peanut butter sandwich, right? And while you're like, you know, reminding her that you're allergic to peanut butter, she says, wait. But I used the bread you liked. Or it's like, another example is like, you want pizza for dinner. You phone, yeah, you get your wife to phone the pizza delivery company. And when she's like phoning, all you can hear on the phone from the other room is hello, yes, pepperoni, yes, no, yes. The pizza does have a gambling problem, yes. And you know something's up. That's what hearing Unreal Engine 5 is like. You know you're not getting what you're supposed to. The second a dev is like, guys, we used Unreal Engine 5, you know it's going to be shit.
Shape the experience of players by running events and changing the in-game world. Eternal Teams will allow you to run your own shop, craft unique items, partake in castle sieges, and much more. The game will also not have a cash shop, and promises that all items will have to be earned through gameplay. Eternal Tombs has some really unique ideas, and I'm interested to see if an MMO run by GMs can actually work.
I'm incredibly skeptical.
That being said, I don't think we'll get to play it before 2025. Ashfall is a post-apocalyptic MMO.
Trashfall. Another one that's not an MMO, but they've marketed themselves as an MMO, but it's an instanced world thing with little sections, and it's a mobile game.
RPG shooter developed by legendary Star
What a pile
Studio,
of shit.
And will offer.
You know why I'm so mad at Trashfall in particular is because it's supposed to be like the Eastern version of Fallout. And instead of it being the Eastern version of Fallout, it's like... It's like someone made a mess in your kitchen and called it the apocalypse. It's a fucking over-exaggeration.
9 distinct shooting styles that come from a mix of your abilities and weapons. The expansive world in this game spans over 200 kilometers, featuring diverse environments such as small camps, toxic wastelands, and sprawling cities. The release date for this game is confirmed for Q3 2024, although personally I don't think this game looks very good.
It's trash.
Into the Echo is an Unreal Engine 5
This is a game that was supposed to be strapped to the blockchain. Into the Echo, I'm aware of this one. I researched into it. They were going to go full crypto, and then they removed any mention of crypto from their website. This is going to be another pile of shit.
MMORPG that describes
this one I'm skipping. I'm so fucking mad at this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make you suffer just like I have. Watch this trailer. Look how fucking bad it is. Just this animation alone. They thought this shit was good enough.
Massively multiplayer time travel tale. The game aims to break free from traditional MMORPG conventions like linear progression or levels. Apparently the game strives to create an inclusive environment where everyone can play together and have a meaningful impact, regardless of...
Quite literally. This fucking MMORPG
tale. The game aims to break free from traditional MMORPG.
This motherfucking MMORPG did the Arthur Fist meme. They thought we wouldn't notice. They thought they would get away with this shit. Motherfuckers. What a joke. This game is a crypto game. I'm not kidding. This is a crypto game, and they scrubbed any mention of it on their website because they realized people fucking hate crypto games.
Or levels. Apparently the game strives to create an inclusive environment where everyone can play together and have a meaningful impact, regardless of the hours they've invested.
They thought this was good enough.
This game might not cater to hardcore players, it's likely to appeal to a more...
It's got nothing. Zero gameplay, zero mention of anything. If I do this right now, this makes me so fucking mad. This is their website. This is all they've done. This is a fucking PowerPoint presentation. That's what this is. It's a fucking PowerPoint presentation. That's all it is. Here's some pictures of some shit. that they haven't built in-game. It's all concept shit, and they're fucking sitting there pretending that they've built anything at all. It's pictures. They've fucking written out shit like this, but they've not built anything. It looks worse than PowerPoints I made in high school. It looks worse than fucking video games I saw kids program in fucking high school. When I was in high school, like the IT class, the final project for the year, for your graduating year, was you had to program a video game. And guess what? I watched one of the Asian kids program a fucking fighting game where it was different goddamn characters from fast food restaurants. You were fucking Colonel Sanders beating up fucking Ronald McDonald. And obviously there's copyright shit there, so you can't just release that game, but it was a private project. And you know what? It was fun. It wasn't very good. It wasn't very expansive, but it was fun. And I bet money. If I took Andrew's project, that was his like English name because we couldn't pronounce his actual Chinese name. If I took Andrew's project and I put it up against a fully developed Into the Echo, the fighting game, the 2D fighting game he built where you can play as Ronald McDonald or the Burger King or Wendy or fucking Colonel Sanders, I bet you it would be 100% better than this piece of shit.
Casual audience, especially those looking for a game to enjoy with their partner.
Any day
There's
of the
no
week.
gameplay out for this one yet,
Makes me
though,
so
so
mad.
I'm assuming this is a 2025 or beyond release. Pioneers of New Dawn. Details about this MMO are still scarce, but it appears to prioritize building and sustaining persistent settlements in a
another open world survival MMO. We don't have enough of those ones.
challenging environment. With its abundance of natural themes and survival elements, the game sets itself apart from...
Okay, I'm skipping through the rest of this because Lazy Peon and his dispassionate script reading is making me want to kill myself. I've thought about suicide 4 separate times. I've got a window over there. I've considered jumping out of it. I've got like a few sharp metal objects on the desk behind me. I've decided that I might slit my wrists. Jesus Christ.
Playable Worlds is, unlike its name would have you believe, not playable. In fact, it's in the very early stages of development. There's almost no information about this game yet, but it's being
okay, cool. No information. Worthless.
An Unreal Engine 5 MMORPG that brands
Unreal Engine 5. Fucking garbage. Oh, here we go. Here's one that I think is going to be a massive failure.
5. Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. If we travelled back in time 20 years and I showed someone the latest footage released for this game, they'd still say it looks outdated.
Yep.
But don't worry, if you're in your 20s, you might not live long enough to see the release of this game. And if you was ever excited for Pantheon in the past, odds are the recent graphics overhaul and baffling decision to make an EverQuest successor have a children's game art style has likely killed all your hype. I personally do not believe Pantheon will ever release. Camelot Unchained has been...
Do you know how many people have been in like Narc's comment section telling him how amazing Pantheon Rise of the Fallen is going to be? How he's dead fucking wrong about that game and how it's going to be amazing?
a hot mess.
Why'd Peon sound kind of happy when speaking of being dead when this game releases? It's probably because his soul has already left his body, and it's kind of like, you know, when you're already dead on the inside, a death on the outside doesn't mean much.
For quite some time now, and it's honestly a shame to even include it in an upcoming MMORPG list.
I would love a game to just release where the character has fucking spaghetti spine and they're just flopping around like this.
At this point, it's become very clear that this
not because it's going to be very good, but it'll be entertaining for about 5 minutes before I never touch it again.
Game will never be released, and the studio behind it is just working on an engine to sell to other developers.
Yep.
What's mind-blowing is that even after being in development for more than a decade, and still figuring out the very basics of the game, the studio has recently received an additional $15 million in funding from investors.
I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm doing the wrong thing. I don't know why I'm... Why am I streaming? Why am I creating YouTube videos? Why am I doing this? I just need to make like a dog shit 3D animation and someone will give me $15 million. Holy fuck. I'm in the wrong place. I need to be scamming people out of money. Holy shit. How do these people get $15 million? I can see all the porn games loving these physics. Yeah, they probably will, actually. You should make scam MMOs. Tabe, you're probably right. I need to just put the words Unreal Engine 5 on shit. AI generate a few images, go into Kickstarter, and I'll be a fucking millionaire within the year. Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, I'm sorry. It just fell apart. Development of the game just fell apart. Sorry. And I'm sitting there like on a gold toilet taking a shit. A golden nipple like covers on me with the tassels. Guys, I'm so sorry. And I'm like spiraling them around in the video. Development just ran out of budget, guys. And I get in my Lamborghini. I'm like, I'm so poor now. Everyone, I had to fire everyone. Budget cuts, the economy, guys. The economy, I'm sorry. Fucking sitting there like fucking gold-plated Lamborghini. No shirt, nipple tassels. I get out my Lamborghini and I take a mobility scooter that's plated in platinum to my Tesla. I sit in the Tesla. I get the Tesla to jerk me off because I bought that feature from fucking Elon Musk. And I'm having an interview with someone who's talking about how did you scam people out of millions of dollars? And I'm like, I didn't scam people. No, I would never do that. It just fell apart. We ran out of budget. Literally, yeah, White Xerxes. There you go. That's it. I'll be fucking White Xerxes. I am a generous god. Agreeing to this interview. All I require is you play with my nipple tassels. But don't touch them too hard. The gold is delicate. That's your fucking... That's these people. I'm in the wrong place. What am I doing here? But I could just be scamming people with shitty physics engines.
Unbelievable. But that's it for this video. As I said, I think 2023 was a great year for new MMO announcements, and I'm excited for the new wave of upcoming Unreal 5 games that will hopefully bring a breath of fresh air.
I'm not. I hear Unreal 5 and I have a fucking stroke. How long has Star Citizen been doing it? Oh, man. They're never gonna stop. Two cats yelling. They're never gonna stop. Rose exposed by CoffeeZilla. You know what I'll do? If CoffeeZilla exposes me, I'll dox him, find out where he lives, and beat him to death with a golden dildo. You can't expose me if you're dead, CoffeeZilla. Just beating him to death. And then what I'll do is I'll do what all these fucking scam artists do, is they say the exact opposite of what like they said. I'll be like making a phone video on Twitter with his body like lying on the floor behind me as he's bleeding to death and like gargling his own blood. And I'm like, guys, CoffeeZilla died and I had nothing to do with it, but this is a tragedy, guys. I know we didn't see eye to eye, but I loved the guy. He was so good. I enjoyed his content so much until he came after me, obviously. I guess, you know, karma just caught up with him, and it's just like over my shoulder. You see him like curled up, bleeding to death in a corner.
To the genre. Which MMOs are you most looking forward to on this list? Which ones do you believe will not make it to a full release? Let me know in the comments below, and also help us out with a...
What trash. What fucking trash. Fuck you. You don't get a like, Lazy Peon. You phoned that shit in so hard. Half of what you spoke about wasn't an MMORPG. What a terrible video that was. What a miserable fucking video that was. Jesus Christ.